Welcome, Wallisha. We are glad you are here with us today. Tell us about your upcoming trip to Tallahassee, Florida.
Yes, awesome. Welcome, everyone. My name is Wallisha Whipple. I'm the birth plug. And Tallahassee kind of came up because I work with birth workers in Florida. And I got invited to come to as an event at the state capitol in Tallahassee where a group in birth justice coming from Miami with some other birth workers all the way to the Capitol, basically to stand up against our lawmakers and people who are writing bills that actually work against birth workers, but then also is hindering the community as well that we serve. So, I have 5 children of my own. 4 of them were birthed naturally at home, unassisted, unmedicated to a degree. And from there, I just kind of fell in love with educating people on getting rid of the fears and traumas of going to the hospital versus like this is a natural sacred thing that's happening. From that, just led me to study under other people. Shafia Moreau was my first trainer. She's located in Portland, and she's globally known for her fight within the birth community, fighting for justice with lowering the infant mortality and maternal mortality rates. And I had a friend in Tallahassee that asked me, hey, can you support me or help me? And I told her no, because I wasn't certified. And come to find out, you never needed to be certified. You just needed to show up with love and support. And from that moment on, I don't know, it was like kind of etched in me that I kind of like, I wasn't supporting or I didn't show up in the best way that I was supposed to. So it led me on this. I got certified as a birth assistant that assists midwives during birth. And then I got certified as a doula that assists the mother as she's through her whole pregnancy and labor. And then I ended up coming back to Ohio where the need was much greater because there are not many Black birth workers within the birthing space. So I kind of felt led and charged to not only educate myself more, but educate more people on the terms, the conditions, and what's at stake when you don't have support during your birth.
How does it women feel when you're willing to help them with the knowledge that you gain over time?
They're
What is
very
the action?
encouraged and like, oh, I didn't know that, and this, that, and the other. I think that we're so far into a space of unhealing that it's a sense of release for them, almost like instantaneously, like, oh, my doctor never said this, or I didn't get this feeling, or they weren't warm or welcoming. But then they quickly revert back to those fears that have been, we've been conditioned to give into. Like we've been conditioned to think like, you see in a movie, they're screaming and it's all this blood. When you go to have children, it's not like blood all over the place and a lot of the screaming and all this like, but they've traumatized us over and over that sometimes I have clients that are so far into it. They want this relief, they want this a different way, and they'll get all the information and they'll revert back and be like, okay, no, I'm afraid or I'm scared or, so.
You had a post on the Facebook in regarding the weight loss, how the people should be taking advantage of herbalism, herbal products, and just healthy eating.
Yeah, I think that it's very, when you get to the point where you hit your lowest as far as weight gain, and I personally have been there, my heaviest was 276. It's like, you feel like there's no way you can revert back to where you used to be or what's comfortable. So I understand the mindset of like, oh, I can take this pill or shot or go under the knife and it's gonna magically disappear. But for me, I was concerned for my health, like what was happening. I saw the results of diabetes. I didn't want to lose any limbs. I saw the results of, heart attacks and other things that was happening within the community. I didn't want to be a candidate for that. And so I took the natural route because I don't like medicine. Like I'm scarred by medicine. Not that and I say that in a way of people really like, oh, so you don't believe in this? Like, it's not that. It's just that, again, if you understand that they're taking a piece of what's natural, like for instance, this plant, If this plant had a complete cure, well, the pharmacist will take the plant and mix it with something else because we need more of it and we need it faster. So I can't just give you this by itself. I gotta add some other stuff in there and fluff it up because I need to mass produce these chemicals. And the fact that plants are medicine, I'm not against it in that way. Like I love the understanding herbalism and how the herbs are put here to be able to meet any induced disease or anything like that. I think that we just my post that I made is more so that there is a sense of urgency from these people, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. But it's for all the wrong reasons, and they don't understand that the urgency that's leading you into taking a shot or a pill or going under the knife are going to lead you into more higher life-threatening situations than where you already are. So if being overweight is leading you to comorbidities, where meaning you have multiple things that are wrong with you, diseases and illnesses that you're dealing with, it's an easy way to attack it. And I'm living proof, and I have others that are living proof of, if you're going the natural route, it lasts longer. And for the pill or the shot, it's some people I've seen, they're still the same size. They may have lost 2 or 3 pounds over a year, but they haven't lost like people are losing in, 100 pounds in a year. Meanwhile, they lost a couple and they think it's good because like, oh yeah, I've been on it and it's done these other things and I don't have to take this one pill, but honey, our bodies wasn't conditioned like this. So I'm just in the spirit of, if you have the truth, do whatever you want with it. But right now, when you give us medicine, we don't have the full truth because you don't tell us in depth of the side effects. You don't tell us that, the long-term effects. And you're just selling us this dream. Meanwhile, we haven't no skills to continue after the medicine has done its work. How do I naturally continue, not end up back in this space? So I'm really passionate about that because it's my own journey.
And I met a young lady with 4 children. And she said she used to take that particular shot. And she's glad she stopped it. When I mentioned one of my husband's family members actually died at the age of 46. She was very obese. She didn't take care of her body. And she wanted a quick fix, but ended up to be in grave, in peace.
Yes, and that is, death is a part of life.
It is.
It's a full circle, and some people don't recognize, like even when I got into birth work, I started to see how close these babies come out and they're acting like elders as the elders are ready to leave. It's a full circle, and I don't completely understand all of it. I just comprehend that I don't have to fear either one. If somebody's pregnant, I'm not in fear. And if somebody's getting ready to leave Earth, I'm not in fear. And, working with the nervous system and that and the other, it plays a lot on that when it comes to, oh my gosh, they're telling people that they're going to die. If you don't get this procedure, if you don't get your foot cut off, if you don't get this thing done. So it's extreme that they're doing. Like they're going literally into rooms. They told my sister, you're going to die if you don't start this dialysis. And to hear that coming from a doctor, it's like, I'm going to die? Yeah, we all going to die. Thank you. Welcome to being a human and being absolutely. Born. Yeah. We're all going to face death at some point. But when you put it in the state of you're going to die or unless you do this, then people are backed into a corner with very limited information. And they're like, they give in and they cave to save life. Yeah. Obviously, they're not knowing that, I'm going to be opening up the door to these other elements more so that I'm just trying to save my life. That's what most of the people said in my post. Well, I just wanted to save my life. Well, honey, now hair loss is one of the smaller things that happens, but there's a lot of other things that happen from repeatedly taking and misusing drugs. And
same with the children who has ADHD. ADHD to me is just a mark for a big pharma to put child on a medicine.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's, again, when I was coming up, or not when I was coming up, when I first started getting in the health and like really researching and things like that, There was a gentleman that actually mentioned that his idea of ADHD was met. Ain't no daddy at home. There was no masculine energy in the space to help correct, love, and guide from that perspective. And so you had children that just was like, had no grounding and no foundation because they were lacking a father or a male figure in their life that was going to not necessarily belittle them or overtower them, but cover them in a way that we need to be covered. We all yearn for men and women, but I think that this condition is pacified through medicine, and then the parents, it's like, now I feel relieved. If you diagnose my child, they're on medication, I've done what I had to do. So now if you see my child acting unruly or doing any of these things, I can just throw out the label and everybody be like, oh, okay. But they don't talk about the dietary restrictions that these children should be on if their mind is going all the time. You shouldn't have sugar in an unnatural form because it's going to aid, your mind is already racing. You already can't think or sit still. And I feel for some of these children because there was a select class when I was growing up. They call it the learning disability class. Probably had nowhere between 7 to 11 children at any given time. And this was through grade school, middle school, and high school, 9 to 10. But now everyone can be on a spectrum of anything. You can get a pill for
everything. Absolutely.
And parents are okay because it's easier to have a doctor say, this is what's wrong with my child. Here's the medication. Now just go. Rather than saying, hey, the dietary and the environment, even our environments can make us go insane. Sometimes I get, in a certain environment, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to scream. I'm going to do something crazy or outrageous, So even the environment plays a part in the genetic makeup and mentally what's going on with our children or even as adults, because there's adults taking what they call them focus drops there.
Yes.
Drop them in their eyes and like, okay, now I can focus. Like, I want to slap you. like we focus on what we want to. And if I lose attention after so many minutes, that's just what it is. Next thing, or restart your mind. Like you can restart but they're taking us out of that, just allowing us to, coffee this or fast food that, and it's desensitizing us and so much that it's dehumanizing, to give into some of these things.
And when I was a 4-year-old, I was put on the medication for seizures. My parents was young. They don't know any better. So when I came to United States and I discovered that medication is not going to do anything. I have an 8-year-old son and I don't want to be on medication for the rest of my life. So I had to do a lot of research, a lot of changes in my diet, eating for my blood type.
No, for sure.
And I've been free for 15 years. Seizure free for 15 years.
It's amazing to have people that support you. And that's kind of like where the trip to Florida is coming from. Even with other works that I've done, it's just like, at the end of the day, people reach out to me because they know I support certain things that equals longevity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody supported me at the time I was going through it.
Yeah, because they probably thought you was crazy. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not on these meds? What is wrong with you? Aren't you afraid you're going to die?
Yeah. It's all mental.
It's all mental, exactly.
It's all mental.
But they didn't care about how the medication made you feel.
It made me feel zombie. Mm-hmm. Made my actions, my collaborations with other people pretty much scared. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what's wrong with her? Well, my body doesn't know that I am actually say or do something because of the medication or a occurred seizure a night before, and that's a trigger.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And also it tapped into anxiety. Did they even tell you how part of what you was experiencing is a form of anxiety?
Yes. I had an anxiety since childhood until about a year or two ago.
Well, I would share this with the audience and with you as well, is that the first thing I can remember with having to take medication or response of my nervous system being attacked, I had Bell's palsy, and I was like 3 or 4. And at the time that I was diagnosed in the 80s, there was only white men in their 70s that had been diagnosed with Bell's palsy. So they're looking at me, this little black girl. How is it that you have this diagnosis and you have the symptoms and disease that white folks got, white men at that? And so I will be years later that I did my own research to find out that it was an attack on my nervous system. So somewhere, somebody should have said, is she being violated? What's her surroundings like? Is she being abused or mistouched? Like,
Manipulated.
Right, because at a young age, certain things I shouldn't have experienced, but nobody was aware enough or tapped in enough to say, well, oh, it's this. But they had medication.
Yes, they did.
And they put the fear in me that if it comes back, it's going to be permanent. So here we are, almost 37 years later, my son gets it, my eldest. He has Bell's palsy in the face. Come to find out, they diagnosed him, or they prescribed him, steroids. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking to a doctor about the case, and he tells me they give the steroids to pause it. So it's a placebo. So if this much of your nerve is damaged, they don't want it to damage this much. So now they give you the steroids to pause it here. So they can get a moment to think, to figure it out, or to help your body go back into the natural state. It was his wisdom tooth growing in that caused his whole face to droop. The stress of a relationship, all happening at one time, all happening with the same time. Got him oils to chew with, gummy bears, so he had to change up his diet for a little bit. Other things we rubbed on there, natural herbs, he just rubbed inside of his mouth and would suck on certain things. His face is fine. He's back to normal. He stopped taking the medication immediately, but he's back to normal, and it probably lasted maybe like a month and a half or 2 months. Same amount of time mine did, about 2 months. As a child though, I was, and he was 21 when his happened. Yeah, like 21, 22.
And when I told my mother I'm seizure free, she broke in tears.
Oh my goodness.
She picked up the phone and she called my doctor.
She did not believe you.
No, she did not. I never received the support. She was scared. I said, Mom, I am not taking no more medication. I put her on a pause. I took one pill and I said, should I or should not? Because that's a mental. And I said, I'm not going to take one at night, but I will take one in the morning. And I totally walked away from it, and I started all my research. But my mother called my doctor and told him, and he said, yes, that can be reversed. But we didn't have the technology back in the day. All our children was either on the medication, or were not able to attend camps because the condition of the child. That included me. I was not able to go to summer camps because of my seizures. So that was very interesting.
And you've been 12 years without?
15 years.
15 years.
On February 12th. February 11th will be the 15 years I've been seizure free.
Wow.
It's a blessing.
No, it is. That's amazing. But can you imagine, like, I guess the flip side of that, like you said, your mother, like our parents were young, they didn't understand certain things. So I can understand to a certain degree back then, but now we're in this state, we got all this technology at the fingertips, and people are still being coerced to only believe in what's practiced in what's medicine. Like this is where it was created, and it wasn't. And we have to understand that it's a practice.
Yes, it is practice. But we have to go back to 1950s, 1960s, when our grandparents was growing up, or young adults, and they did not take no medication. They didn't have any.
Well, and for the Black community here in the States, it was very different because I can remember my elders saying to one another, don't, like, they would not go to the doctors alone. You go to the hospital, they'll kill you. Like, and even I have some Jewish friends that was grown up here. Like, that's why they have their own everything. They wasn't going like just to any random space or that and the other, or just always conditioned to go to the hospital for every little thing. You got a cold, you got a sneeze, you got a temperature. There was things that we knew how to do, how to regulate. Everybody knew, okay, well, you do this for that, and you do this for that, and we just got away from it. Like, no, we need the doctor to tell us exactly what's wrong, and then after they do, we need them to prescribe us the meds because we don't believe in nature anymore.
Right.
We don't believe in the creation of the body able to self-heal itself. You know, like, we're really out of tune and out of touch with that. So.
And the interesting thing, if the kid or adult have a pink eye, there is no need for medication. It's a boiled egg.
Really?
Yes, it's a boiled egg.
And so I would say breast milk.
A breast milk?
Yeah, you could put a dropper of breast milk in the eye, or an ear infection or throats. For adults as well, they can have a. So what do you do with the boiled egg?
Just boiled egg, put it where your pink eye is.
Still the skin on or skin off?
Skin on.
Okay, so the unpeeled egg, boiled
Unpeeled egg, yes.
We'll just lay it on the eye.
That's
after it cools
on
down.
the corner of the eye, yes.
Oh, and it's supposed to heal it.
And takes care of it overnight.
Wow.
Same with sinuses, or colds, or congestion. Salt. Heat up the salt. Divide it between 2 socks you don't wear any longer.
Okay.
Put it on your nasals for 15 minutes, 3 times a day. Keeps the doctor away.
And listen to that. Now, I got some friends in Canada. I just learned about, a couple years ago, the onions in the socks. Some things I knew just because, like, I would do things and it would feel comfortable and good. And then I have 5 children, so I was testing a lot of things on them. Like, but also, I think a big thing that people don't talk about safeguarding is nutrition.
Nutrition.
Not saying you got to eat super perfect. People think like, oh, well, just because you eat perfect, honey. I don't eat perfect, okay? I don't eat perfect, world. I don't. I do my best to treat my body good, and like it's worth trillions.
And at the age as we are,
yes,
we cannot eat the food that we used to eat before.
Exactly, because
It
you'll
just
gain
gets
20 years in 1 year. Your
Yes.
age,
Yes.
and that's a real thing. And so, with the things that we put into the body that stop the body from processing the way it should, is a lot of the things.
And it rejects it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
what is your recommendation for someone is going to listen this podcast with us? What is your recommendation to people and how they can reach you?
recommendation to people in terms of health, or just
In help of health, yes.
Yeah, I want to say that I think the first thing with anything is just recognizing and speaking your truth. So like maybe you had an ache, or maybe you have a reoccurring issue, or maybe you do feel like, hey, I had clients that didn't feel as comfortable with doctors, but they were still going. It was like a fetish type of thing, not even realizing it. So maybe wherever you lie, I think owning whatever it is that you need help or assistance with verbally to yourself is key. And the answers will come, even if it's through your doctor. Challenge your doctors for sure, because you hire them, even though it's it's your insurance that's covering your coverage and paying them, but you are the boss of your health care. So at the end of the day, nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do or that you don't feel comfortable with doing. So do things that make you feel good, make you feel comfortable, and don't shy away from that part of your energy, because it's important. As far as following me, I can be found on Facebook and IG and on TikTok, all under The Birth Plug. That's TheBirthplug. And
Thank you, Wallisha. It's been great having you here.
thank you. I appreciate it.